Professor Nalapat, let's break it down. What are your three reasons why you believe this targeting of India is taking place by the Canadian government?
Well, Uday, I'll answer all those three questions. 1, 2, and 3. Trudeau needs to shift the focus to India from China. Every day in the Canadian media, you are getting reports coming in of the Trudeau's links to China. His father, of course, had extensive links. There's no question about that. And the son is following in his footsteps. So the first priority for him is to ensure that those links do not become the main subject of discussion. Instead, he creates this bogey of India. And of course, I agree with Ambassador Mukherjee. Trudeau is not Canada. I mean, he's the head of government, yes, but he's not Canada. And Canada is way more important than Trudeau as far as India is concerned. So I think we can ensure that finally relationship will come back. Look, Trudeau, the second reason is he's a bit frustrated. He expected India to buckle. Oh, yes, Mr. Trudeau, after all, you're one of the G7, you're one of the Five Eyes, or whatever they call it. And so we will, of course, do whatever we can. And what Trudeau wanted was for India to admit guilt, not basically to help in the probe, but to first admit guilt and then help them to maybe cook up the evidence of that fake charge. That didn't happen. Delhi refused to buckle. And then he expected Biden to follow him as head of government, or at least as Tony Blinken. I mean, he's had some weak expression of support from the UK and the US and all that. Oh, India must cooperate. Of course, India is willing to cooperate, but India is willing to cooperate in a genuine probe, not in a witch hunt, not in a gerrymandered probe with the preconceived conclusion, like what Trudeau wants India to cooperate with. Of course, and then, I mean, Ambassador Mukherjee is absolutely right. There are people in the US who want India to basically do what Germany did, which is basically cut its own economic lifeline by being silent when Nord Stream 2 was completely eliminated, and by agreeing to cut off from Russian gas, which has been a real problem for Germany. Neighboring Austria now is not only buying gas, but is basically paying for it in rubles. The Russians don't want to touch euro and dollar because they've been confiscated. So, quite frankly, if you go back to a little bit of history, a president who was very outspoken in France, not de Gaulle, but Jacques Chirac, he did not want the Iraq war. He said this war is a disaster. And, there are many instances in which he disagreed with American foreign policy and refused to follow the British in reflexively supporting whatever policy the American president decided on. India has got the self-respect and self-pride under PM Modi, has got the self-respect and self-pride of Jacques Chirac, and he is not going to allow India to basically buckle under this kind of motivated pressure. So the point is that he's a frustrated man. And in his frustration, like a gambler who's losing, he's doubling and doubling the stakes each time. And yes, he's doubled it to a certain extent that I agree with the ambassador. I think the relationship is really, the political relationship is an extremely parlous state. There's no question about it. And until Trudeau is removed, it's not going to improve. So quite frankly, Trudeau apparently believes he should be president for life. The Liberal Party is supposed to be a natural party of government. So Trudeau feels that he's the natural leader of the party. And yes, there's no question that that reason is absolutely right. Besides the need to deflect attention from China, is the overriding need for his political success and the overriding need for his political survival. And that is where he believes that this kind of help can come in. Because don't forget, there are influential anti-Indian networks in the US and Canada. And these networks will be very happy if Trudeau goes around and succeeds in his clear mission of delinking India and the West, making India and the West enemies of each other rather than the friends that they are. So I think that frustration, that desperation, that he's not getting anywhere with this mission destruction is also driving Trudeau.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.